Welcome to the Mindset Makeover. During this unique show, hosts Lisa Berry and Michelle Carter accompany you on a journey of mindful thinking, true feeling, and clearing mind chatter, all to align you with deep answers and multiple possibilities that help you move forward and live in the now. You become present, clear, and unstuck, and able to live fully led by your heart. Michelle and Lisa invite you to listen and feel this transformation through vibration of word, sound, and song. Open up to what's possible and experience a shift.
Hello, and welcome to the Mindset Makeover. What's possible? The show that shifts. I'm Lisa Berry.
And I'm Michelle Carter. Hello.
Hello, Michelle. Well, today's show is about removing limits, removing them, and gaining a new perspective on what we call distance. Love, we love love, healing, and the power of yes. Oh, my God, Michelle, I know that one. The power of yes, this all knows no bounds, no limits, and doesn't even adhere to the principle of which we often imprison ourselves in time. I'd like to remind all the listeners that literally right now, Michelle and I are in two different countries, like completely super distance between us, yet energetically through our communication, we are in the same space and time and able to create and manifest from here. That's true. The show is, we love it.
Kind of like our first show that was about time. There is no time.
Oh my goodness, yes. I know. See, we can make it relevant, but we use it as a base and a container that we can visualize things in, but really we can stretch it. And our very special guest today is actually going to talk to us about that. Her name is Jane Del Piero, and she's going to share a lot more of what she does. But truly, Jane is a distance healer. That's why we're talking about time and distance. And she's a licensed acupuncturist and does alternative healing. Her mission is to support all of you, the listeners, by providing a sacred vessel for you to explore your evolutionary soul path and deepening the connection to yourself. Believing that we are part of something special, and when we are allowed to align with our inner wisdom, we can truly nourish our souls. She uses various healing techniques, and she supports and helps to accelerate growth in a transformative direction to all her clients near and far. We welcome you, Jane. Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Hello.
We can hear you. There's
Hi,
Michelle, Jane, and Lisa.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, Lisa.
Oh, hello, Jane. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here today.
We are. And, I love that you do distance. I have so many questions for you, of course, and so many. Michelle and I, we have our random stories that we love just poking in there. But if you can just, I love that I'm going to say enlighten us, because you are LuvLight.net. Like, that's your company, LuvLight. But I just love that you, distance healing. Do you want to kick off and just share what that even is and what that does, and just the take on what you do with that?
In my form of distance healing, I use one healing modality called theta healing, and then something I've kind of created over the last 17 years of my work called LuvLight illuminations. So with theta healing and LuvLight, I go in and I can actually transport myself energetically to where you are, and then begin to do a reading on you and get information that will help you release limiting beliefs and outdated programs or contracts that are not serving your highest and best good.
Okay, I've got a question.
I love that.
Does the person, isn't that cool? Does the person need permission? Do you need their permission for you to go in? Like, if I'm sitting here, could you just scoot straight into my body right now and transfer, or do you need to hear a yes from me? Like with Michelle, Michelle be like, yes or no, or does that matter?
I just say yes.
It does matter.
Fix it all.
It does matter. It's actually through a communication and a little bit of questioning where I will find a word that triggers an emotional response that brings up something in somebody such as, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve love, I'm not good enough, nobody loves me, whatever the belief is that actually would make the house of cards collapse from underneath. And they become very emotional around a certain word, and all of a sudden I start to clear that word. So say it is worthiness. So, and then I would ask them, what's the best thing about worthiness and what's the worst thing about worthiness? And then we go from there and we start to dig in and see what is really going on and how come that is limiting them in their life.
Oh my gosh! You know what? I think Michelle and I tend to do that. So that's why this will be a very interesting call, because I know I'll pick up on a word, I'll feel the vibration, I'll express it to Michelle, and Michelle will actually go and find the vibration, the sound that can help clear it. But then how do you go about doing that? What's your modality? Like,
well,
how would
actually,
you dissolve it?
I'm a sound healer. I've been working with sacred sounds and planetary sounds for 16 years now. I work with gongs, and I work with crystal singing bowls and Tibetan singing bowls. I have planetary chimes. I do a lot of mantras and chanting. And what it is when the word comes up, worthiness, and it's how somebody says the difference of I'm worthy versus worthiness. And that vibration that it carries, and I watch the energy shift. I can feel it like in me, and then I'll ask them where it comes from. Who told them that in the first time? And oftentimes it goes back to childhood, or, not being worthy when they were 6 or 4 or whatever it is. And then we start to clear it up from there.
Do you ever find that it has come from a past life or a karmic thing?
Yeah, there's different layers. There's actually 4 different levels that things can be held on. And one is like our core level. That's things that we learn from the second of conception forward. Because actually when we're in utero, we hear everything our mother thinks and says. And we hear everything going on outside of there and how it affects her body energetically. So if she gets sad or somebody hurts her feelings, we feel that. Or if she's happy, we feel that. So that's the core level. Then there's the historic level, and on the historic level, these are things that are carried through from generation to generation, and it's a history. So the history will be held within a family belief system or structure, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And that's usually 2 generations or more back. It's in the deep genetic memory, collective consciousness. It's where the memories are held in the auric field. You can see it through the auric field of people. And what I actually energetically notice about humans is that before they even enter space, about 7-8 feet in front of them, you feel their energy. So you don't even necessarily have to see them.
Oh, yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the genetic level. There's 2 more levels.
I'm just going to go back on
genetic level, which is DNA. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, just because the historic one is so cool. So when we're dealing with that 7 to 8 feet away, so and I'm throwing this one at you, and you're probably going to answer it later, but I have to ask, because you mentioned about planetary chimes. And I know when Michelle even does her crystal ball, like all those sounds, the sound, that sound travels. Like it travels through distance, but is it also traveling through a time, like generation time, like what you were just saying? Does the sound from what you're chanting and like that vibration, is that going through those levels of generations as well as just this?
Oh, yes. Sound can reformat cellular memory. They say within 9 seconds of sitting in a sound bath with crystal bowls or gongs or Tibetan bowls, you start to reform that cellular memory. It's like taking your cells and taking them to a shower or a bath and washing them and cleaning them. And in that space, we forget about the story. And it's when we forget about the story that the monkey mind stops. And in there, we find peace. That's where tranquility is. That's where happiness is. That's where we are going to find our true self once we shut up and get out of the way.
Right.
Yeah,
Michelle,
that's why music's the greatest thing ever.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Michelle, when you're doing the sound bath, are you noticing, like, because I don't think Michelle knew about, she might have known. Michelle, did you know about the 9 seconds? And if you didn't, do you notice
No, not at
very
all.
rapidly?
Well, I think, like, so many, because everybody that does any form of anything with sound does it differently. And I really love I love instruments. I love everything. But I find that I didn't know that about the 9 seconds. That's super cool. But I know sometimes even when my friend Chandra and I are doing our sound baths, well, seriously, like I'll be like, whoa, I'm just going into a trance. Like I kind of forget that we're the ones facilitating it because it's pretty powerful stuff. And like I ding my bowls and play the bowls every day, and just for in my space just to feel it. But I know, like, I didn't realize it was just that 9 seconds, but it does. You feel something vibrationally shift in you almost instantly. And it's pretty powerful stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, each note affects each chakra too. So as you're playing a certain note, say a C note, and it affects the root chakra, and then all of a sudden we're grounded down into the earth, and it can start to heal that imbalance in that chakra. And so all the layers of that too can be healed with that sound. Sacred sounds, so we're playing planetary sounds, like something like Venus or something, or one of the Chiron, which is the asteroid. When we play those sounds, it actually takes us to outer space, and then we can come back through with the cosmic energy to heal.
Oh, so gathering like little twinkle stardust on the way in.
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
because I didn't want to brush over these because each one, like the core. I mean, I already want to go back and talk about the core, but no, I'm glad that we took some time about that because I find the historical generation and that distance, and like that's the whole thing this is about, is letting people know that they're not alone in one space and time, that there's this distance that really reaches to you. So if anybody out there listening is feeling either really like I can't go back in time, I can't fix this, or I'm all alone, you're not alone. You don't have to be in the same space as somebody, and it can go with generations back. Or like I love that I actually put together, as you said, 7 to 8 feet, and you said 9 seconds, so I have like 7, 8, 9 in my head now, going 7, 8, 9.
Oh yeah.
Forget the story and
so, okay, what I love is that you said.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to break. We'll come back to that.
See, look at that. Okay.
Okay.
See, we're going to just build his own space and time. We'll be back in just a short bit, and we can hear more about all these different 4 stages and places.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
Join me, Maggie Chula, on Mondays at noon Eastern for Mastermind with Maggie. Let's work together in a mastermind. We can resolve life's problems and create goals for the future. Build action steps empowering you to create your life in partnership with your divine source of light, your soul. Manifesting your goals can be simple and easy, so come with your problems and leave with a plan. The Akashic Master Teachers and I are waiting to help you.
It's 6:42 p.m. Time for Steve Plato and his son Dylan to do the dishes. They talk about everything from the yuckiness of girls to the awesomeness of his soccer team. Sometimes they don't talk at all. Then, hey, the dreaded splash fight. It's Dad o'clock, and it's the best time of the day because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
All right, we are back with Jane Del Piero, a distance healer. And Jane, you were going through, and can you help me with the word again? The 4, is it levels or 4? What were the 4?
Well, there's 4 belief system levels.
Belief.
The 4
belief
levels
system levels.
That the beliefs can get caught in, and because in every belief there's a lie.
Oh, I'm so glad that we said that because I didn't catch that. And
that's a great line.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to write that out right now. Every belief there's a lie.
I'm writing it too. And every belief system levels. Okay. And then the lies. Okay. You're teaching
so
us
the
and
4
you're helping
levels,
us heal already.
Good. I had mentioned the core level. That's that level that we're taught in the frontal brain from the minute we're conception forward, all the programs that were accepted. Genetic level, or the historic level, was memories from past life and deep genetic memory, collective consciousness. Okay. And then genetic level are programs were carried over from our ancestors in the genes. These are in our morphogenic field, also in our DNA. Okay. So it's believed that we actually carry the same original 8 cells with us at all time, and they sit in our perineum, which is at the base of our chakras. And those
Did you say 8 cells?
Come from 8.
Oh,
these
that's
cells
like our numbers
actually,
for everything.
Yeah. 8 is actually, then it creates the flower of life, circles and everything from there. Okay. It's all sacred geometry, infinity symbols, all of it. And so that's the genetic level, and then that's in our DNA. So that's a coding that takes place in our genes. And then there's the soul level, and that is, this is all that the person is. These are the programs that are pulled from the individual, and they're in the heart chakra. These are like this is the level that's coming in right now in this lifetime. It's our soul lessons.
Okay. Now, will this go with us into a next other life, or just this life right now?
Some people end up taking these things. They just are in it for the lessons. They're not in it for the graduation. So what they'll do is some people like to continue to learn. I don't know why, but that's their choice. Not everybody's in it to realize that life is the school and love is the lesson. And when we fall in love with ourselves, then we can allow others to love us, and then we have more love to share with humanity and all, because we're all one.
Oh, I love it. You know what's funny?
We were just talking
Michelle
about that yesterday.
Yes, I was going to say, Michelle, Michelle, tell about that, because I think that Michelle will always say it's the lesson, it's about the lesson, it's about, and I love that, and what you just said, kind of, if we can stay on this one for a little bit, because I think I want to go back to the genetic one, but the soul level too, because often, Michelle, do you resonate with one versus the other, thinking about when you think, is your soul here to graduate or just to learn lessons? Like, are you drawn to one of that more than the other?
I definitely hope I'm here. Well, I hope I graduate. I don't want to come back. I'm having a good time here this time, but I would really like to move on after. No, I'm fascinated actually with everything you're saying, Jane, because it's such a wonderful, what I love about any exploration of all this is that we all have such different perspectives, and I do talk a lot about the lesson because everybody has something to teach you. And right now I'm listening to you, and I play crystal bowls and do all this stuff, and I'm just like, I never heard that. That's amazing. Sign me up. I want to have a session with you. I can't wait. I love this. It's such a wonderful, and ultimately what you said, like, learn that love, like, that we are, if we're kind to ourselves. We were just talking about this yesterday. If we're kind to ourselves and if we're happy with ourselves, we're naturally kinder to others. We're naturally more giving. We're not, like, it all starts with that self-love. And I think sometimes, with the layers of pain, like from family or whatever, other lives, this life, it's just incredibly important to clear that stuff. And I love what you're doing, that you can do it in a distance way, because some people feel, we talk about this a lot on the show, that it can be little shifts. And I feel it's so nice that you offer it through distance, because some people are like, well, I don't know a sound healer. I don't know how to get that. But if you can do it energetically, distance, that's, for everyone that's listening, that's so exciting. They can have your services. It's awesome.
Yeah, and it helps people actually get to living that dream life that they're always wishing for and wanting. Like, I want this, I desire. It's a lot of want. When people want things, they're holding it out in front of them and they're never really getting it. Instead of like, my desire and my destiny is to attain these things or to have this success. And when people actually can allow themselves to stand up tall and engage in life, then things will start to happen for them. It's about our posture, too. It's about how we stand in the world.
I love the word posture. It's funny, Jane, is when Michelle and I feel that Michelle and I are just healers for each other, because we used to, in the beginning of our, building this career that we now have, that we share, and we used to say, I want this, I want that. And, we changed the language, we changed the wording, we changed the vibration of that, and we did a lot of healing for each other for that. And you're so right. And I wonder, were we going through, without knowing it, were we going through the layers of the belief systems, do you think, like as we were doing that and recognizing in each other, saying, oh, you know what, there's a vibration there for you. Let's, just by offering it love and awareness from another person, is that the process of dissolving it, or like you said, changing it, or what is it that how would you say that
you are going through? What you're doing is you're actually going through the LuvLight illumination when you're catching people in the story that's trapping them in the loss of power in said chakra. So I don't have a loss of, I have a loss of power. So then what's going on is they'll say disempowering things. So then it's how they change their pattern and empower themselves every day also can heal that. And then playing the certain sounds that chakra needs will heal it, or chanting, doing some yoga, walking, whatever it is. When we invest into ourselves, it's like taking the time to clean our temple instead of hanging out at the amusement park. And you can choose to hang out in either place that you want, that your body can go wherever it wants every day. But I choose to have this temple because in my temple, when my temple's clean and I've done my yoga and my meditation and taking care of myself that day with my food, whatever, my chanting, then all of a sudden my temple's clean. And if something shows up in my mind or someone that wants to, say, have a psychic conversation with me or drain my power, oftentimes now what I'll say to them is I'll be like, ooh, my calendar's really full today. Sorry, I don't have time for you. Oh, it looks busy tomorrow too, so don't call me. And psychically push them out and go into my chant of what is good in my life, why I love myself, why I'm happy, what are the positive things for me.
And how would somebody recognize, because you'll probably be able to highlight this a lot easier than I could, when somebody is living a life that they aren't hearing, that they're not acknowledging or recognizing, honoring that, what would a perfect client, like right now, if you think about a person who needs you right now, who you could help, what is their life looking like when they're not recognizing?
So when they're not recognizing, what happens is we get stuck in a neural pathway. Neural pathways are created in our brain by a thought or a belief system that's limiting to us. So say I'm poor, or money doesn't grow on trees, I never have enough, I'm always struggling for cash, I have to worry about money, that whole belief system for people. That's one that I work with a lot. Okay. Another one is worthiness, like I'm not worthy. That also goes into everything ties together when you think about it, because a billionaire believes they're worthy of being a billionaire, whereas a poor person doesn't believe they're worthy of being a billionaire. So there's lots of layers to each person that's happening, and it's about where it's affecting that person the most. So with the worthiness issues, that would be an easy one to start with people.
Worthy can go, I like that you chose worthy, because worthy can go from I'm not worthy to own something, have something, create a family, there's worthy doesn't, it's not just about money, it's about I'm not worthy to lose weight, I'm not worthy to have that life. I love that you actually chose the word worth, because worth isn't just monetary.
No, it's not. No, and that's where, it gets people stuck for sure.
Okay, so on that soul level, because I think there was a thing in my brain that my brain had this. I heard one time that a soul, no, wait a second, I'm getting on semantics here between spirit and soul, and I remember learning, and now I can't remember it. One of them was like this lifetime that's with you. I think it's a soul, but your spirit is the one that travels through all the lives. Is there a differentiating thing that always I guess you're going back to genetics and DNA, and then going through that core belief.
I think that's also a belief level, because some people that I work with actually don't believe in reincarnations or past lives. They're just very stuck in the past of this life. And it's
that's what I was trying to get at.
So it's where the story, where's the story? Is the story supporting you and I'm amazing, I'm powerful, this is an amazing life, I'm having fun, wow, this is awesome? Or is your story this life, my car's broke down, my wife left me, my dog died? It's just
I can relate very much what you're saying, though, how people can live in the story, to touch back to what we were talking about a few minutes ago, that when you carry, I know when I met Lisa, I was really, and I didn't think I was carrying the story. I was like, oh, but I'm so enlightened and blah, blah, blah. But I was carrying, I've signed bad contracts. My career has not turned out how I wanted it to. And it caused so much pain. And that's just dealing with this life. And I would hold on to that so much, and releasing of what it's all supposed to look like has really, really, really changed my perception of everything, and to do with my career and everything, because I was so caught up in what the story was supposed to look like, and so caught up in what the story had been, even though I did all this personal work, and I still was like, I shouldn't think like this, but I really did. So sometimes I really do feel you need that snap, and it needs to work with energy. So that's what's so great about using sounds and chanting and something different, so you're not just talking it out, because I don't think that's always possible to talk it out and move that through. Because I know for myself personally, I really did carry that for a long time.
Yeah, and we have to remember that every thought we think is psychic energy. Every thought we think affects our health and our happiness. Every thought we think is carried on a psychic level. And so what we're thinking, it attracts things to us, you know, both animate and inanimate things, objects and people. Every thought that enters our subconscious or our subjective mind is in that psychic realm too. So then we're attracting that naturally and physically and spiritually, emotionally, magnetically to us. So imagine the story of, I'm not good enough, nobody loves me, I'm fat, I'm ugly, whatever that story is. Oh my God, just even saying those words, all of a sudden I start to curl in on myself. Because at one point in my life I thought all those things, and that was the lessons of me learning that to be present in the now and to find out really who I am, to be truthful with who I am, and to be okay with who I am. I like me. And when I like me, then I'm beautiful. I am okay. I like everything that I do. I'm of service, and I say these positive things. So then that energy is all of a sudden filling me up, and I've plugged into something positive instead of something negative. I didn't go to the amusement park.
And Jane, you know what? We're going to go to commercial, but I want to ask you when you come back of how did you yourself get to change that story and those lies? So I'm going to ask you about your personal story when you come back.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Every Tuesday on Living with Moxie, join Shefali Burns and Donna Martouge in conversations designed to take you to the next level, where we highlight ideas, resources, and strategies that provide you with the leverage you require to meet and exceed your business and personal goals. Each week on Living with Moxie, we will lead conversations related to success, achievement, fulfillment, and extraordinary, vibrant living. Are you ready to live with Moxie? Join us.
There is no death, only a change of worlds. Chief Seattle. Deborah Livingston is an award-winning intuitive psychic medium whose international services include mediumship, spiritual assessment, animal communication, and spiritual mentoring. She is a published author and a trained shaman. Deborah provides evidential messages from spirit and departed loved ones. Learn more at deblivemedium.com. That's DEBLIV medium.com.
I'm Alec Baldwin with People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. I grew up loving circuses and other traveling animal shows, but it never occurred to me what life might be like for the animals. Training wild animals to do things they don't understand takes force. Routine discipline with a hook or whip with the heel of a boot shows the animal exactly who's the boss. Don't patronize animal acts. Please contact People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
757-622-PETA.
So Jane, when you're talking about, you've shared with us that through those four, we're going to find out where the story is in those belief systems and where the lie is in those. Now, when you were going through your life, you said, you know what, there's something about my life, I know I can have a better one, or I'd like a better one, and you're trying to differentiate between what are lies, because lies can get comfortable, and what are truths. because the truth is what would make you feel good. Like, how did you yourself even go, okay, this is where, did you have someone helping you?
Well, what I want to say actually is sometimes people can be really comfortable in their lives. Yeah, too, and they can learn to stay. It's the alcoholic who has been to had 13 DUIs or 12 DUIs or 5 DUIs, and then they still go to AA, and they're comfortable in that lie that they don't have a problem. Right? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they wouldn't get behind it. Otherwise, they would figure out how to take a taxi home because it's a lot cheaper, pay someone to drive them every night. Right? It's cheaper, save some money, right? And so they get comfortable in their lie. And a lot of times when we're pushing for our truth or what our destiny is, that's when we have to get uncomfortable, because it's inside. Mm-hmm. When I push my comfort zone, that's where I can find my truth. It's just like in yoga poses. When I stand there long enough and I'm like, when is the teacher going to tell me I can, change positions? And then I start breathing and I'm like, okay, forget about what she's doing. Close your eyes, breathe, breathe, breathe. And in there, then I start to realize with myself, I'm like, oh, you can do this. You've done lots of things. Break through and just do this and have faith and courage. Don't get caught up in the fear that I can't, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this. You really have the courage to think outside the box. Right. The fear can really be a net, to trap you. Oh. Yeah. It can be a net. Oh, yeah. Good. Yeah. And people can definitely get trapped in their web of whatever they're creating in their life, And so that's why somebody will start to do something and then sabotage it, and then come back and then start to do something and sabotage it.
Ooh. Can we talk about that just for a second? Because that's really super, super sabotage. That word. Oh my gosh, Michelle and that's a heavy word.
Yeah. Well, it's all exalted in our archetypal wheels. Everybody has the saboteur within them, right? Okay. Because it's one of the archetypes that has to fit into our pie, we say. And so it's how do you exalt the saboteur? Right.
Because is there ever a time when the saboteur is helpful, necessary, needed to get to that destiny, to get to that truth? Or is it just that, no, we really have to just start recognizing it to say, oh, I'm sabotaging because I'm fearful.
Okay, so then when you would exalt it, you would actually look at your saboteur and say, oh, what I see is happening here is that you're bringing fear up in me, and I'm going to face that fear because I've been able to in my life before. So thank you for making me aware of it. So I exalt that fear. Thank you.
Okay, so acknowledging awareness.
It's nice to be kind to it, yeah.
Being kind to it too, and but it's also being that firmness of I can do this, because you have to be able to stand up to it and then give yourself that pat on the back and be like, okay, here we go, we can do this. Gently, I think I can, and get through whatever that self-sabotaging scenario is.
Okay. Yeah, because it can be loud, especially when you're used to it.
Yeah. I have a friend who would sabotage her relationship with a guy. And every time they would get close and stuff, she would go out and get drunk and then make out with one of her ex-boyfriends. So finally, theta healing with her. And I was like, hey, what are you doing here? And then I was like, do you even really want this relationship? And she's crying. She's all upset that he's broken up with her again this time. And finally, she looks at me and she's like, no, I want to be empowered and be free. And I was like, well, there you go. So that's why you set yourself up. You don't even want this. And I swear to you, oh my God, she's so changed in the last month since she realized it's not even what she wanted. She was comfortable in thinking that's what she wanted, and she didn't even want it. She wasn't even in touch enough with herself to know that she didn't like this behavior pattern from said person. So but so when we
this is where we
do
create.
For her.
And the thing with her in that situation, she's got a pattern. It's a habit. She's comfortable. She's repeating it. She's getting the same result because she's aware of it. But yet she's the truth of it, the destiny in it is that's not her destiny. Her destiny is not to get hurt all the time and hurt others. Her destiny is to, like you just said, empower herself.
Yes. Yeah.
You said you used theta healing. Can you explain what theta healing is to us?
Theta healing is a conscious modality where I drop into a meditation state, and through consciousness, then I will go through all my chakras down into the earth. I enter through my heart, go down to the earth. I find a crystal, and then I bring that crystal up through all 7 chakras, and then I take a little Merkaba, and I go through other dimensions, through what I call the white light and the dark light and the white light. And then I go through the 6th dimension where the laws are, the law of gravity, the law of time. And then I enter to the 7th layer, where the realm where the creator of all that is. I don't want to call it God. It's just whoever created everything. Okay. And I go in there and then I make a command on your belief to alter, release, delete, remove said program belief. For instance, I would say creator of all that is commanded that the program I'm not good enough for Jane Marie Del Piero be pulled, canceled, deleted, resolved, released on a historic level, sent to God's light or creator's light to be transmuted, replaced with the program that is in the highest and best good for Jane Marie Del Piero at this time. Let me witness the program on all belief levels. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I witness something. Oftentimes I see people like cotton turnstiles or ropes coming off of them or layers of sheets coming off or whatever it is. And then I come back in. Once I get a clear sign, I rinse off in this rain, the purple rain of Saint Germain, and then I'll come back through my body, descend back into the earth, pick up the crystal, and then come back and break the connection. And then I give them the information if they want it. Sometimes they get information, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they feel it instantly, and then we just keep going to the next level of whatever that brought up.
I know this is you are on, but this is not just they've written a letter or an email to you and you're just doing this. You are actually like on Skype or on the phone, or you're with them on some level.
Yes,
are you vocalizing like what you're seeing and going like what's happening, or is there silence as this happens?
I go into silence. I don't actually say that little paragraph thing that I mentioned there to you out loud. Actually, when I drop into theta, I'm in a deep meditation. So I'll say to the individual, say, Lisa, give me a minute. I'll be right back with you. Do I have permission to work with you? And then once they say yes, I'll go down, go in, come out, and then I'll tell them sometimes what I see. Oftentimes, I don't see anything. It's a feeling. And then when I come back instantly, the minute I say something, they're like, oh, my God, I feel different, or this happened, or I saw this. And, it's different for everybody. Yeah.
How long does a session typically take? Oh, sorry.
Oh, that little scenario can take like a minute to 3 minutes, maybe 5. I always think it takes really long, and then when I come back and I ask the person, they're like, "No, it's like a minute."
That's
really cool.
Time and distance doesn't matter. In fact, I hear that.
I love quick shifts. I love that you do that quickly. Awesome.
That is fast.
Well, the healing is instantaneous for people. It's that the brain has to take a little while to format the new program and fill that neural pathway.
Mm-hmm.
The neural pathway.
We're quite conditioned to be miserable.
Yeah, people love misery. Loves company. They all love it. Like I look at some people and I'm like, what? But they can't. When certain people are caught in that misery, it's all of a sudden their whole posture, their whole energy changes. And how do you pull them out of that slowly without judgment? Because it's not, we don't know how far into that cave they've gone. So then to slowly, gently pull them out and say, you're okay, it's okay, it's okay. And to stand there without the judgment, because we don't know what they're going through, what's going on, or what contract they signed to have this feeling.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Speaking of the judgment is so important, because I know I actually work with Michelle's mom, and I just realized that I guess what we're doing is distance healing. I never called it that because we don't even call it anything. There's no judgment. But when I'm working with her mom, it's over the phone. We're in different provinces, and it's funny because what I was going to ask you, like I often don't plan on what I want to talk to her about because I don't want to have a judgment. I don't want to know what I want to be so comfortable of just what comes out. And she recognized that we do that kind of, do this kind of healing thingamabobber, like what you do, have a little saying and it clears. But you're right, it's instant. But when you work with somebody too, I guess that's what you're, like you said, you recognize you're looking for the vibration of a lie or a painful hurt or something. And then you go into that mode. So somebody doesn't have to have a judgment about, oh my gosh, I don't want to tell Jane that I have this about me, or I don't even know what to tell Jane. They can come to you, and as long as they are open and give permission, then you can work with anybody. Is that correct?
Yeah. I had a woman randomly call me because she'd listened to another radio interview I'd done a couple months ago. And so she calls me from the West Coast, and she starts talking to me. I've never met her or talked to her. And she's like, okay, so what do you do? And I said, well, if somebody, say, weighs 500 pounds and they want to talk to me and they want to weigh 300 pounds by the end of the week, then we need to believe in miracles. But if they believe, I believe, and we can go there. And I said, it's about worthiness. Are they worthy of having these, this body and everything? And all of a sudden she just started crying. And I was like, I don't even know why I'm telling this woman this, right? I just start talking. Right. And then I was like, are you okay? And she's like, well, that's me. And I was like, oh. And I said to her, I do that a lot. I just tell people stories, and I have no idea. But I was like, that was for you. And so in that, then she felt comfortable because she knew that I could go into her psychic and emotional space without judgment and just tell her what was possible if she believed, and also let her know that what I was doing was genuine and that I was really connecting with her without even knowing it,
Yes, yeah, I love that. I think that's what Michelle and I will often do. We're going to text each other something, and she's like, "Did you already tell me that?" And it's because she's already
it's super weird. Yeah,
me thinking it. Yeah,
I think
so that's how moving into the fifth dimension. I think
it's the which dimension?
Yeah, absolutely.
I said that's moving into the fifth dimension where we won't have to talk or text or do all these things. It's that just knowing of everything that's moving right for us.
Okay, so yes, so that's the fifth one. So I know you said sixth one is the dimension for law of the gravity and time. So what in the fifth one, was there a name for that one? I don't know my dimensions.
Well, there's different belief systems around the dimensions, right? And so some people will say that there's like 7 layers. Theta healing believes that there's those 7 layers, and that 7th layer would be creator, 6th would be laws, 7th would be where like angels, archangels, or 5th would be archangels and stuff like that. 4th would be where shamans live. 3rd would be us. 2nd would be plants, and then 1st would be.
And we're gonna have to review really quickly.
Sorry,
we'll come back in just a short 2-minute break.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Circle of Hearts Radio is a sanctuary on the airwaves. Join me, Grandmother Elia, in the circle on Sunday 2 p.m. Eastern as I share information to both enlighten and nourish your soul.
Older buildings may contain asbestos and lead. Pipe or other insulation, ceiling tiles, exterior siding, roof shingles, and sprayed-on soundproofing may contain asbestos. Disturbing materials containing lead-based paint may release lead dust into the air. If your home contains asbestos or lead-based paint, and any of these materials have been damaged or will be disturbed during cleanup, talk to public health authorities. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
Okay, so sorry, ran into the commercial so fast. It was so interesting listening to these dimensions. I was going to ask you with using all the different sounds that you as a sound healer, do you find that one in particular helps you go through these? Like, where does the sound come in for you when you're helping to heal someone?
What's very interesting is I tell people just to chant Om, because Om is the home tone, so it'll bring in information and ground us back into our bodies. But one of the most amazing things that people can do is just say do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and sing that. Do, dear, si, mel, dear. When we sing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, we activate each chakra. Do is the root chakra. Re is the second chakra. Do, re, mi is the third chakra. Fa is the heart chakra, and so forth. And so each one of those sounds actually helps heal the chakras. And that heals
It's not like that. They don't have to even be in key, right? So, I mean, Michelle would totally be in key, and other people would be like,
well, you want to try and chant it in a D key, and most people, what I would tell them to do is just go on to your phone or your iPad or your computer, whatever, go to YouTube and pull up a video on D, note D in key, and then chant that to it.
Okay.
To your body, to heal yourself. What people do is they'll tell themselves the story, I'm not good enough, my life sucks, I hate this. And then that vibration goes in, and instead of singing to themselves and having a good time in their life every day, because why are we here on the planet Earth in the life? To have fun. To enjoy
and to be
happy.
I like that.
And to be happy.
That's fun. I love that.
Yeah. Nowhere in there did they say you have to have a job and go to work and suffer and like all this stuff. So how do we get beyond the suffering? You know? And so for me, getting beyond the suffering came through with yoga and chanting and sound healing and personal growth, working with shamans, taking the time to go on retreats, like investing into me, putting money into me is my personal bank
investing
account,
into yourself.
Cleaning my temple. Yeah.
I think that's so important for people to hear, because Lisa and I have often talked about this, about priorities and where people put their, like, what matters to us. Like for me, I could have no money and I will figure out how to buy a guitar if I need one. I'll be like, I gotta have it. And we were just saying that, and Lisa and I we met in a course, like we've invested quite a bit of money in ourselves to take courses, but it really does, like, it's the most powerful investment you can make into yourself. Like to take, and the investment can be in time too. And just what you were saying about the various, like how you can change the energy through those notes. My dad used to always say to me in my 20s when I was having one of my dramatic meltdowns, he'd be like, did you sing today? And I'm like, Dad, you don't understand. And he's like, did you sing today? And I'll be like, well, no. He goes, okay, sing and call me back. And that was it. It was just like, did you sing today? And it really works. So even now, like, I mean, I basically live in a musical, so that's probably why I'm happier that I sing all the time. But I do think it's like the vibration. Yeah.
You sound like you sound the music to me.
Hello.
So, one of the most influential and profound teachers I've ever had is a man named Krishna Das. And Krishna Das, when he talks and tells his story, he talks about being this hardcore drug addict loser that was like running through the fields trying to get to his dealer's house and all these terrible things that he did, and how chanting names of gods, of things that he didn't even know about, changed his life on deep and profound levels, because in there he actually found his truth. And that's what that saboteur, when we go back to the saboteur, the empowered saboteur requires that we become aligned with our inner truth. And people's inner truth might be like, that doesn't make me happy, or I don't like living here, or, you know, I don't want to do that, I don't like my job. So what would that inner truth look like to be like happy, joy, bliss? And some people might be like, well, I have to move, or I'm going to get a new job, or I'm going to, you know, but whatever it is every day, by chanting or spending your time doing your yoga or listening to your music, playing your guitar, whatever it is, when you're investing into yourself and changing your vibration, you can change your whole life.
You know what? Oh my God, Dave.
Attract things to it.
Michelle's and my very, very first name of our program when we were just brainstorming is transformation through vibration.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
That's true. I forgot about that. But everything is every musical instrument, piano, guitar, bowls, name it, anything that's not a synthetic instrument is vibration. Every single thing. So it makes sense that we resonate to that, because everything, like when you play a crystal bowl, it's super vibrating. It's really cool when you put water in it and you watch the vibration, and it's just, every instrument is like that. So of course we're like that too. It's all vibration. I love that.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why people say vibe all the time.
Jane, how would you describe to someone who doesn't know, or I want to hear a definition of it, what chanting is?
Chanting is just a repetitive, repeating a mantra or a syllable over and over and over. So, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, that the Buddhists chant when they have their malas, which are the beaded necklaces they wear. And they have 108 beads on them to represent the number of Buddhas. And so on each bead, they would say, "Oh, Mani Padme Hum, oh, Mani Padme Hum, oh, Mani Padme Hum." And that drops them into a state of meditation.
Okay. So somebody who would like to chant, doesn't know how to chant, thinks that this could be them. They're resonating right now on the show, and they're thinking the word worthiness. Could someone just chant the word worthiness over and over and over again, and that would help them? Would that help them change the vibration and reach the chakra energy center? Would that be something that helps?
Well, worthiness wouldn't be the because you have the ness in there, so that's almost like less. You have to watch that vibration. So you'd have to say the chant has to be, "I am worthy. I am good enough. I am worthy. I am good enough. I am worthy."
I love that.
And when you bring it back to the "I am," it's all of a sudden that changes. That's Alma. Do you know? Are either of you aware of who Alma Chi is? The husband from India.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle saying yes. I'm saying no.
Yeah, she teaches I am meditation.
Oh, well, I need to know him now.
Woman. Her. It's a woman.
Okay.
Her.
It's
her.
It's a her.
You love her.
That would help. Okay. Oh. Yeah. So what, do you use this in yours as well? Like, because do you help people with that I am chanting? Like, is that something that you would help them with when they're working with you?
Yeah, what I do is I have people create a mantra, and I'll have you start with 4 simple words. So I have a very long mantra because I've been doing it for years, and it's my I am statement that I chant when I'm riding my mountain bike up that hill that I just don't think I can get up, or when I'm in an emotional trauma with somebody that's, say, pulling energetically on me, somebody from a past life or something. I have a lot of energy with a twin flame. So I have to process that a lot right now. And when I do, then I begin to chant that mantra to actually clean myself up a little bit. And so part of mine is I'm young, I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous, I'm talented, I'm sexy, I'm skinny, I'm strong, I'm successful.
Woo! I love that. Yeah. I want all those things too.
And so I chant that to myself every day when I'm out, like, walking around or doing things. And it's funny. I'll never forget one day I was walking down the bike path here in Telluride, and I'm on my way to work, and I'm chanting this in my head. And all of a sudden, one of the construction guys was like, "Hey, Jay, you're looking really good today." And I was like, "I haven't showered in 3 days. I'm in my yoga clothes. I'm running to work late, and I look great. Thank you." And that's because in my auric field, I was in love with my life and who I was, and the experience of, like, walking down the street. I'm like, wow, this is great. You know?
That's awesome.
Carry that, because that vibration is 7 to 8 feet, but it's even further than that. Like, because of the, something you just said about how you take these forward, you start and you create this mantra. There's something that Michelle and I do. It's called powerlifting, and I did it based on like how go and lift weights like your power, but powerlifting I call them strength sentences. And I think that's where I'm really connecting with what you're saying, because the power of I am, you're creating that strength, that vibration. So when somebody works with you, because I do want everybody, all the listeners, to be able to get in contact with you who feel like, that resonates with you. They're sitting there in their world and they're thinking, okay, I know something's not right. There's definitely some lies going on in my story, and I need help to identify them and clear them. And so they would call you just like that lady did, and somehow you guys will connect. And they don't even have to know. They just need to give permission. They just need to have that thing, and then you connect in that way. And how long would somebody even like? Is that one call, and then would they ever talk to you again, or how does it work with working with you?
I've had all different types of things. I work with people all over the planet, and sometimes I've just talked to people one time, and then they're gone, and then they'll call me back or send me a message a year later and tell me how everything's amazing or changed. Some people will go through like a 3-pack series where they're really wanting to focus on a couple of things that were affecting them, and then like focus on a goal, so we'll work towards that. Some people, if they're very intuitive and are actually stepping into their power, or what I call awakening, having their spiritual awakening, that oftentimes can be a number of treatments or sessions, because they'll be clearing things from all different lifetimes and also empowering where their destiny lies in this lifetime, so where they're going.
Wow. Destiny, where they're going.
So how do people get a hold of you? Because I need to know
the
for
best
myself,
way,
even though, of course.
Yes. The best way, people can email me at Jane Del Piero, DELPIERO@gmail.com. My website, which is a great way to get a hold of me because it's got my contact information, is LuvLight, LuvLight.net. Once again,
and beautiful site, by the way, incredible site, beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I've been very blessed in my life, and I honor the blessings and where I've gone and the people that I've had the opportunity to work with and for, and every day I'm just grateful for this life.
Yeah, and you know what? Whenever everybody, we're inviting you to visit that LuvLight.net, LuvLight.net, because even when I went there and I saw that your pictures that you've put out there that share where you've been and who you're with, and I actually went on a journey when I was looking at the pictures. It feels good just going to it. It has a great vibration.
Yeah, it's
good. Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's been such a great pleasure to talk to both of you today, too. This has been really fun.
It's been wonderful. So enlightening, everything. Pardon me?
I love you said enlightening because it's like we still have 5 minutes, so we have some stuff I want to say. I thought we had 5 minutes.
I think you have a different clock, speaking of time. Thank you so much for being here. And seriously, this is amazing. I will be signing up for a session, I'm sure. I love it.
Much love and light to you all. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much, Jane. Bye.